we're back at preseason this year after the Christmas break. Talk us through a little bit about what that looks like for the first 4-year players, what they've done so far and what it is like looking ahead.
So the Cameron Ling Academy covers 1 to 4 year players. So pre-Christmas, they're all slightly different. The probably 3rd and 4th year guys can get a lot of pre-season load into them. Most of training, they've sort of done a few pre-seasons, so they're sort of ready to go. 1st and 2nd, it's a little bit different. So 1st year loads, we ease them into it just until we understand their bodies and get a good indication of how they cope with the pre-season load. And 2nd year, after 1 pre-season, we're just trying to improve their load as we go. So most guys can cover now sort of 80-90% of the pre-season, but we sort of look at each player a little bit different depending on how they've coped so far. It's been good. Over Chrissy break, they sort of run their own program and train in small groups, but now we've had a few sessions after Christmas. It's good to see get back into it, and most of them are training pretty well.
And obviously before the break we had the draft period, so we welcomed some new players into the fold. Talk us through how they're integrating into the group and what it's been like getting to know them.
Yeah, it's a good group this year. Obviously a few local boys, so they know each other really well, and I guess we've seen a fair bit of them. Jai Clark's obviously progressing really well. He's getting some inside mid experience against some pretty quality experienced AFL players. Also, he's played a little bit half back in some of the drills we've done, which has been good fun for him. They're all getting different exposure at different positions, which we're pretty relaxed at this stage of the year. They get some flexibility. So someone like Ted Close is getting some wing exposure, some inside experience, and also a little bit of half forward. Oscar Riccardi's playing a little bit half back, a little bit wing. So.
Yeah, and then we'll look at a couple of the players from last year, just the year that they've had, and then what you think the focuses are for them going ahead. So Ollie Dempsey.
Yeah, Ollie had a really good first year at the club, getting exposure. He pretty much played every game, got some AFL experience, which was awesome for him. He's come back in really good shape. One of our probably top 5 runners at the moment, so he's worked really hard on his running ability over the break. He's progressing really well. He's played most of his footy half forward, but because his running ability is so strong, we're trying to put him up on the wing a little bit more and let him use his weapon, which is getting right up the ground and trying to beat his opponent both ways. He's a really good aerial player, so if you watched a few of the sessions lately, he's taking some really good marks and using his agility and flashiness and flair, which has been great for him. So he's developing his body. I think he's put on 6 kilos in 1 year since he's been here. So he's going really nice.
And then the next one is Mitch Nabbit.
Yeah, very similar to Ollie. Played every game pretty much in the VFL. Barely missed a training session. We've got to drag him off the track all the time. He's always looking to do extras. Really diligent worker. Similar to Ollie, played a couple of positions, so started off more inside, but now he's progressing because he's such a good runner, and he's improved over the pre-season. He's getting some wing exposure as well, and second half of the year in the VFL played a fair bit on the wing as well. So he's another player that's getting some good opportunities at the moment. His running's going really well again, like Ollie. He's probably in our top 5 runners at the moment, so he's progressing really well.
And then lastly, Shannon Neal.
Yeah, big scratches. He's got a great opportunity at the moment with Tom Hawkins just working through his rehab. He's getting some experience with Jeremy Cameron and Gary Rowan and the bigger guys down there at being the main target, along with our big fellas. So he come back from pre-season in ripping shape, and into his 3rd year now he's sort of free to go. He's getting a lot of the training in. An amazing athlete, really, with his ability to play tall, and he's developed his body so he's strong enough to play on anyone, but he can also get right up the ground and play sort of a 3rd hybrid tall as well. So it's an exciting place he's in. His marking's looking really strong, and he dominated some games of VFL this year, so he'll be looking to progress as best he can this year, and he's in a really good place at the moment.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.